Harald Fairhair, was the first king to claim sovereignty over all Norway. One of the greatest of the 9th century Scandinavian warrior chiefs, he gained effective control of Norway's western coastal districts. According to Icelandic sagas, two of his sons, Eric Bloodaxe and Haakon the Good, succeeded Harald respectively, to become kings after his death. Much of Harald's biography remains uncertain, since the extant accounts of his life in the sagas were set down in writing around 3 centuries after his lifetime. Not much is actually known about Harald's early life. He was born in 850, a time before Norway was ever a country. Norway was simply a bunch of tiny Viking kingdoms, ruled by a number of Viking lords called Jarls. Harald was the son of one of these Jarls, called Halfdan the Black, and was succeeded his father in 860 following his death, and sought to unite the various Norwegian petty kingdoms into a united entity. During the ascension, Harald was 10 years old. Most of the Jarls in the area weren't happy that they had to listen to a 10-year-old. So they staged a revolt. Harald responded by going to war, and won a decisive victory. He solidified his position among the Jarls. His protector regent was his mother's brother Guthrum. Guthrum was described as the descendant of the Ingeling dynasty. The unification of Norway begins with a marriage proposal that resulted in rejection and scorn from Gyda, the daughter of Eric, king of Hordaland. When Harald's envoys returned with the message, he liked Gyda's spirit. Harald induced to take a vow to unite Norway as one kingdom, and be the greatest king ever. In 866, Harald made the first of a series of conquests over the many petty kingdoms, which would compose all of Norway. He just kept conquering kingdom after kingdom, and adding their forces to his army. At the Battle of Trondheim, he defeated 8 kings in 8 different battles in order to take the city. Snorri credits his success to excellent leadership by him and his uncle Guthorm, as well as military reforms and his hard tax policy. In another battle, he defeated 3 other kings at once. Jarls submitted to him, yielding their lands to his rule. Harald let his conquered kingdoms live in peace, as long as they submitted to him. He only imposed a land tax from each king to add to his army. Hakon Grjotgardsson of Trondheim, who allied with Harald, married his daughter Asa to him, and Hakon became the first Earls of Lade, a family which would be one of the dominating forces in Norway. The final deciding battle of his career took place at Hafrefjord around 880. There the coalition of enemy Jarls had quartered their fleet of Viking lordships. They set fire to the enemy ships, sank them and cut everyone they could find into bits. The battle lasted an entire day. It was hard fought, but Harald and his Vikings had won the day. After a great victory at Hafrefjord, the opposing Jarls bent the knee. All of Norway had been conquered and united. Harald became the first emperor of Norway. His realm was, however, threatened by large numbers of his opponents taking refuge in Iceland, Orkney Islands, Faroe Islands and the northern European mainland. Many Norwegian chieftains who were wealthy and respected, posed a threat to Harald. So they were harassed, and prompting them to vacate the land. Harald finally cut his hair and returned to Princess Gyda, who had become a concubine, after her father Eric of Hordaland had been killed in battle by Harald's followers. Harald is said to have divorced Asa, and rejected Gyda, and several other concubines to marry a Jutish princess Ranhild the Mighty. The couple had only one child, Eric Bloodaxe, before her premature death. Eric was named after Ranhild's father, as was custom in medieval Scandinavia. Harald Fairhair ruled Norway as a fair and powerful king for over 50 years. He died in 933 AD, at the age of 83. Today Norwegians call him the father of Norway, the greatest king in Norwegian history, and he is recognized as a central figure in Viking history. Around 1983, sculptor Fritz Rode created Sverd I Fjell, the swords in rock, to commemorate Harald Fairhair's epic battle at Hafrefjord, where he gathered all of Norway under one crown. The largest sword represents Harald, and the 2 smaller swords represent the other Jarls he defeated. They stand embedded in rock for eternity, so that they may never be removed.